morning, Lisa McDonald here from Dundas, Ontario, Canada. I just wanted to check in. This is something I'm probably going to do once in a while. I prefer it to posts. It's a nice way to establish real contact to the degree that you can through social media. And I have a lot to say, and I like to talk, and I also very much like to listen. So one thing that I'd like to talk about that I have spoken previously about on my radio show Carpe Diem, which I go live every Friday, 11:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time through the Contact Talk Radio Network. One of my first shows I started Friday, February the 6th this year, so it might have been my first show, could have easily been my second show. Really don't quite recall, but very clearly remember distinctly talking about it. And that's the subject of why do we care about what people think about us, based on it being negative, if it should be negative. I say that because, theoretically, when you get to be this stage in your life, you're supposed to be very clear on where you're at, what it is that you've established for yourself that you wish to accomplish in life, in terms of passions, in terms of goals, however you define it, whatever word you choose to use to, script out your life to the degree that any of us can. A lot of things are obviously out of our control. But I find, and I'm not separated from this by any means, in terms of sometimes at different stages in our lives being immobilized by fear. And a lot of that derives from the fact that we get consumed with the opinions and the judgments and the misunderstandings and the misconceptions of others have of us. And we sometimes tend to draw more of our time, attention, and energies towards that type of energy as opposed to remaining focused on the positives in our lives, whether it be the true friends, the true support systems that we've built up for ourselves and are blessed to have, and the people who sincerely see our souls and our hearts and know our intentions. And know that we're just living our lives authentically according to who we are. And, I find it a shame that people really hold themselves back. Not my term, but people get in their way. People get in their own way in achieving or obtaining or stepping outside of the fear or the comfort zone that they've surrounded themselves, immersed themselves in, to make a difference in their own lives, therefore making a difference in other people's lives, whether it be your immediate family, your community, your children, whoever you deem to be nearest and dearest to your heart. And we're very similar. I've said this before. We're more similar than we are different, but really focusing on what makes us different, that's where you have to kind of carve out who you are, get very clear on that, and live your life accordingly. So, some of us are introverts, some of us are extroverts, some of us fall somewhere in between both. And, how you live your life and how you define that for yourself comfortably in a space where you're honoring yourself, that's an individual choice. Some people do it through art. Some people do it through music. Some people do it through guest speaking. Some people do it through writing, dance, journaling, whatever, however you choose to be your outlet, in getting yourself out there. And being clear about who it is that you are in getting out there, what your message is, what you feel, and what you've defined for yourself as being your life's purpose. And I've said this before, when I find myself getting stuck in those moments of trepidation or fear or uncertainty or self-doubt, or, perhaps having a twinge of, well, what's somebody going to think if I do that, or if I say that, or if I spread my message, via that means versus the, more private means, who cares? Why does it matter? Why do we put a lot of stock in other people making assessments and judgments about us? You know, if these people choose not to be in our lives or choose not to give us the benefit of the doubt, or to try and understand things from a different point of view, regardless of what their own systematic way of maneuvering through their own lives or their comfort zones, who cares? You know, these are not people energetically you want in your life anyway. And if you know that, you know, you're not doing anything in a way that's bringing about harm to anyone, you're not hurting anyone, you're not doing anything with any form of malice or ill will or ill intent towards another human being, you're just simply being you and doing what you choose to do, there's no harm in that. There's absolutely no harm in that. And, you know, and you don't really aspire to live your true authentic life if you keep yourself in a box. You know, we were born with voices. You know, some of us are able to physically use our voices, and so why not? You know, some of us have the skill of drawing or composing or writing or whatever the case may be, whatever it is you feel that you've tapped into that has brought you to this stage in your life where you have your own message in which to synergistically send out into the world. And, you know, for those who want to listen, they'll listen. For those who choose not to listen, they don't have to listen. You know, I do what I do and I say what I say and I honor myself because that's what's important to me. And I know that oftentimes what I have said has resonated with somebody on a certain level. And I don't talk about fluff. I talk about things that pertain to humanity. We have all struggled. I talk about struggle. We've all felt stress. I talk about stress. We've all, you know, a lot of us have parented. I talk about parenting. It doesn't make me an expert on any subject. I don't profess to be a guru. I don't profess to be a specialist. I don't profess to be superior to anybody else. I don't profess anything. I'm just speaking my truth. And if what I have to say somewhere within my message happens to resonate with somebody, then that's wonderful, because life for me is all about sharing our different gifts, sharing our different talents, sharing our different insights, our mistakes. You know, if we can if we can help somebody avoid making a catastrophic mistake, not based on opinion, but based on fact, of something being definitely right or definitely wrong, why not impart that information and that insight and those experiences to the rest of the world? You know, people do it all the time. Best-selling authors, musicians, artists, you know, we're here to share. We're here to help. We're here to support. We're here to inspire. You know, and again, I don't profess to be anything other than who I am. And being who I am, who I've come to discover, is somebody who has a lot inside that wants to get out. I feel I have things to say, some of which may resonate with people. People may find some of what I have to say and share meaningful. Some people may have a completely different view on that, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And we're not here to be liked by everyone. And, you know, more times than not, when you start to rock the boat a little bit with people, but doing it in a way that, again, doesn't bring about any malice or ill intent towards another person, but if being who you truly are tends to make other people uncomfortable, that's not your issue. You know, we're all operating at different levels of self-awareness. Some of us are still living in denial about certain things that keep us stuck, and more inclined to then, unfortunately, become judgmental or remain judgmental. You know, for people who truly want to know you, they will find a way to know you. They will find a way to ask the direct questions as opposed to making assumptions and making uninformed decisions where you are concerned. And again, knowing that that's unfortunately a part of human nature, let it go. Just, you know, don't carry that stuff around. It is dead weight. It is wasted energy. It is wasted time. We're all blessed on some level to have a certain infrastructure of support. People who, you know, historically or new to our lives, you know, have surrounded themselves with us. We've surrounded ourselves with them. those are the keepers. Those are the people that you want to have in your energy space. And you know, if you're at a place in your life where mediocrity or complacency is taking over and you feel stuck, for whatever reason, you know, scared to take a risk, you know, scared of failure. Well, there is no failure in taking a risk. It's, you know, this life in the way that we've come to understand it, in this plane of existence, it is so sacred. And we don't know. We don't have any real concrete knowledge or fact of what happens to any of us beyond what we now know in the here and now, in the way that we understand our lives in our interactions, physically being here. And, you know, for those of us who truly try to live each day as though it were our last, and knowing that we are inevitably all going to die, die in the sense that we're aware of who we are right now, not knowing what that will mean for us later on, no matter, you know, theoretically, religiously, spiritually, philosophically, what you may think, we don't know. So, you know, if this is our last day, don't waste your energy absorbing the toxicity or the negativity or the misconstrued perceptions people may have of you. Don't let that hinder you or your ability to authentically live your life according to what you believe you're meant to do. You know, step outside of it, really. And again, we all get caught up in that at different times. But the difference for me, as compared to years past, is the turnaround time for me getting out of that mindset, and to really not give that, you know, indefinite periods of time, wasted energy. I say to myself, and I've said this before on radio, and it's really truly my mantra for getting out of, you know, wasted situations, wasted time, wasted energy, is, Lisa, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. So based on that being a fact, we know that. We've been to funerals, you know, people have written and read eulogies, you know, we have visited grave sites, we have ashes on our mantles, whatever the case may be. We understand there's a contrast between here and now and people no longer being here in the tangible sense, no matter what that looks like. So knowing that we're going to die, is this how you're living your life today in your head? You know, I'm not talking about some of the things that we get caught up with that we have to do for our families, bills need to get paid, whatnot. But in terms of what's going on inside your head, what you allow to consume you, and it's a choice whether it be positive or negative. You know, is that really, if this is our last day here, knowing we're all going to die, is the conversation that's going on with yourself, between yourself, inside your head, is that serving you? Is it uplifting you? Is it inspiring you? Is it motivating you? Is that the energy that you're then taking away and sharing with the people in your daily life because of what you're dragging around in your head? Let it go. You know, just let it go. It's such a simple thing to do. Truly, when you practice it, when you make it one of your daily responsibilities, again, given the fact that we are all human and we do succumb to that from time to time, but the difference being, like I've said, for myself personally, my turnaround time of relinquishing things that don't serve me is quick. I've made that one of my fundamental responsibilities, something that I choose to own because I value myself. I value my energy. I value myself as a person. I value the thoughts and the feelings that I carry around with me, that I choose to carry around with me, knowing that that is energy that I emit to the other people in my surrounding space. And if I say that I love those people and I value their happiness and their joy, then I feel I have an intrinsic responsibility to ensure as often and as consistently as I possibly can, to the best that I can, ensure that that is positive energy. People deserve to see you happy. And I'm not talking about faking it, you know, and yes, we all have difficult times and we all need to vent. We all need to problem solve and strategize and maybe come up with contingency plans or seek therapy, whatever the case may be. I'm not talking about, fake joy. I'm not talking about contriving yourself or your life in such a way that it's bullshit or manufactured and insincere and disingenuous. I'm not talking about that. But recognizing that we are human beings and recognizing that we are going to have challenges. What do you then sign up to do to ensure that you're going to work through it? You're going to figure it out. You're going to get unstuck. And you're going to try to become your best self possible so that those who you deem to be a blessing in your life reap the true benefits of the best you possible. I believe that's our inherent responsibility. And I think being here is a gift. And, and I, for myself, choose to live the legacy of somebody who, not perfect, I've got lots of flaws, tons of flaws. And but my fortitude and my resiliency and my sense of ownership for getting things straightened out and to figure things out, and to be in control of my own life to the degree that I can, good or bad. I don't blame other people. Shitty things happen to people all the time, but knowing that that's a fact in itself, we're not isolated in that. So clearly there are lessons to be learned. What we have going on inside of ourselves is oftentimes a reflection of how we see the outside world, and vice versa. It's a mirror. It's a mirror image of what's going out there. It's oftentimes very congruent with what's going on inside of ourselves. So if we know to some degree we have control over manipulating our thoughts in a way that best serves us, figuring out why we're not happy, figuring out why we feel stuck, figuring out why we feel we're living a life not meeting our full potential, why we're settling, why we're putting up with things that we shouldn't be putting up with, even from ourselves. I've oftentimes said the most important relationship you will ever have in your entire life, again, not my thought, very hard to come across original thoughts these days, is with ourselves. We are with ourselves 24/7. And that's a long time. That's a long time to be in your own space. And so energetically, if you have a choice of, ensuring to the best of your ability that be a positive experience for you, that you enjoy your own company, that you feel comfortable in your own skin, that you can live with the decisions that you're making, that you know that the way you're maneuvering throughout your life is not causing anybody else harm, and that you're truly coming from a place of good intentions, positive spirit, honoring your soul, then again, going back to my original point, who cares what other people think about you? Life is truly too short to get caught up in all of that. It's nonsense. It's garbage. Let it go. So again, Lisa McDonald, Dundas, Ontario, Canada, wishing everyone my best. Hope you're having a good day, and hope something that I might have said to you resonates with you, because I put this out here as a reminder for myself first and foremost. So that I'm walking my talk, talking my walk. For those who are in my space, those I value, those I love, and those who I want to see happy as a result of being in my life. Thank you for listening. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.